Good morning. Good morning. Still trying to decide what, if anything, to talk about, and if anything's a lie, because there are many things that are going through my mind right now, and I think it's worth dwelling on yesterday. Because yesterday I did not do any of my routines. Not one. Apart from I had a coffee. So putting aside why I didn't do my routines, it's worth dwelling on how it made me feel throughout the day. And it's quite interesting actually. So whether I can attribute how I felt through the day because I didn't do my routines, I don't know. But all I know is that yesterday was pretty rubbish and I didn't do any routines. So let's walk through the day. So after I woke up, well, let's fast forward to get it logging into work. It was amazing how different I felt logging into work. Like, even if it was, let's take breath work, setting an intention, and having a cold shower. Just those three. So by setting an intention, I'm bringing into my consciousness how I want to feel throughout the rest of the day. So I'm not leaving it to chance. I am putting it out there and saying how I want to feel. So I didn't do that. So my breath work, the reason why I do my breath work is to organize my thoughts. So all of the it's usually negative stuff that hits me first thing in the day. I will let those things come in and sit with them. So I'll just sit there with them in the morning while I have my coffee and I stroke my cat just like that. and let these thoughts come to the surface. So up and up and up and up and up. Coming to the surface. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't realise I felt like that about that person. This particular task is causing me anxiety. This thing needs addressing. I don't want to think about that thing. So lots of different thoughts all coming to the surface. And that's fine, because I don't think, in my opinion, it's a good idea to let those thoughts disappear, or rather suppress those thoughts, because they're a genuine thing that's going through your mind. And it's interesting to observe them for what they are, which is just thoughts. I suppose, going back to some of my meditation training, the danger with thoughts is when they become you. And when you start acting on those thoughts, like those thoughts are driving your behaviors. And yeah, so that's how I felt yesterday. My thoughts were becoming my behaviors. So going back to the breath, or rather to the coffee. So the morning coffee is allowing those thoughts to come to the surface and observing them for what they are. thoughts. They're just thoughts. And we don't control where our thoughts come from. So it's about being accepting of those thoughts as they arise, which is great. So let those thoughts rise to the surface. Analyze them, accept them, say goodbye to them, do whatever you want to do. And then when I've had my coffee, or 2 coffees rather, 2 big coffees, I think I had 3 this morning. So I had lots of thoughts going on. Lots of thoughts. In fact, I did have 2 coffees. I had 2 coffees while I was thinking, and then the 3rd coffee was to set my intentions because I've run out of cacao. So I set my intentions with the cacao, but we'll get to that in a second. So, where was I? Think, brain, think. I was finishing my coffee. So, let's finish the coffee. We finished the coffee and then start to set an intention. So by the time I finish my coffee, I've got all these thoughts going around in my head. And then you can say, well, what do I want to do with all of this? How do I feel today? And what do I want to do with all of this? Well, some days I feel like I really need to listen today. So I will set that intention of, I'm going to be a great listener, or I'm going to spread lots of love, or I'm going to do whatever, be focused on a particular task, or be aware of my goals, or be aware of this particular emotion, or I'm going to replace this with that. So try and set a positive intention for the day in my next part of the routine, which is usually drinking some cacao. And we can get into the mechanics of doing that in another video. But I didn't do any intention setting yesterday. So all of those thoughts that I usually process first thing with my coffee, they're all just swimming around, coming to the surface, hitting me one after another, and I'm not thinking about them consciously. They're just all there, buzzing around like a load of bumper cars, banging into each other. There's no intention set. So basically, I'm flying blind, just going with whatever comes to the surface. And then usually next I would do a breathwork exercise. And in that breathwork exercise, this would be about solidifying, about letting go and solidifying my intentions. So as you focus on the breath, and this is where you can really rattle your brain free of some of these big thoughts that might be dominating your head. So let's say I'm upset with person X because of reason Y. So person X, say enter into a breathwork exercise. Let's say it's 3 rounds of energetic breathwork. So you're, let's do like a Baja Streaker exercise here. So you're doing, I don't know, say 60 breaths in and out like this. Right into the abdomen, using your core to really force air in and out, in and out, in and out. So while you're doing that, bring in the attention to a part of your body, so whatever part of the body that might be. Could be your abs, could be your lungs, could be your lips, could be just be the air moving in and out. Whatever it might be, you're drawing your attention to what's physically going on in the world. Which is I'm distracted because my phone's ringing. I should have put it on mute. So, where was I? Yes. You're drawing attention to what's going on in the physical world. The air coming in and out. The breath. Or through the nose. Whatever way you're doing it, whatever exercise you're doing. And the more you're drawing your attention away from your thoughts, the thoughts just disappear. Naturally, they'll disappear. They'll come in and then they'll go. They'll come in and then they'll go. But they won't stay. You'll find that they are, the amount of time that they are there in the forefront of your head is diminishing each time. It's like one comes in, one goes out, one comes in, one goes out. I want to buy a car this colour. Gone. I need a new phone. Gone. I'm not happy with this person. Gone. This person's really cool. Gone. And then you, as part of these breathwork exercises, you do a breath hold. So it'd be and you lock your bandhas. Mulyala bandha, Jalahana bandha, and oh, that's distracting me. My light's gone dark. Jalahana bandha, Mulyala bandha, Mulyala bandha, I think is the perineum. Jalahana bandha is the throat. And Uddiyana bandha, I think, is the solar plexus. So like your core around just beneath your heart. And so you lock those areas as you enter into a breath hold. And when you go into that breath hold, the thoughts you might have little specks of thoughts coming in. But the longer you hold in there, or the longer I find that I hold in there, it's those thoughts each time is far more infrequent. And unless you're kind of really forcing it, you will forcing the peace that comes with the breath hold. And by that, I mean, like telling yourself, I'm not thinking. But all you're doing is thinking that you're not thinking. So letting go of all of that, letting go of forcing it, and you will find that each round you go through, the thoughts are just disappearing, being filed away. And then you finish your breath hold, your breathing exercise. And once you've completed it, I find I'm left with significantly less noise, more peace, and the intention that I set, I hope, and my anecdotal evidence confirms that intention is set for the day. All of those kind of busy thoughts have been filed away. And then after that, if there is any residual thoughts left, it's off to the cold shower. Now, the cold shower has become quite an energetic experience for me recently. Quite an energetic experience. So in the cold, as I enter into the cold, well, I don't enter into the cold. I get into the cold shower. Sorry, I get into the shower when it's warm, and I have a wash. And then, once I've completed the wash, I start the stopwatch. I haven't got my watch on, but I click the stopwatch. Not that I really want to time myself, because it's not, that's kind of, pardon me, distracting me again away from being mindful of the experience. Like, I don't believe that timing yourself doing something, because you're just clock watching then. Like, you're thinking about the time that you've been in there, or the how much you've achieved, instead of being mindful of the experience. However, I do like to put a post out that shows the amount of time that I've been in there. So what I try and do is press start on the stopwatch on my watch, or put a story out on Instagram to show how long I've been in the cold shower for, and that I'm disciplined enough to do the cold shower every day. So that's why I put the post out on Instagram. So I start the stopwatch, but then I turn it to cold. So cold on the main bars thing, and then wind the other thing to cold, and then just embrace it on my hair, on my face, on my scalp, really letting it kind of penetrate into my skull. And then I'll scrub my hair like this, giving my head a rough massage in the cold, spin around, and then start kind of howling as the cold kind of hits you back, because there's so much surface area there, and it just grips you. But you just gotta take it. Just take that cold for a little bit, for 10, 20, 30 seconds. And one way to take it is to howl, slap yourself wherever you want. And I like howling. I like shouting. Not in a negative way, just like, I suppose howling's a bit more kind of my style. But just make noise. Wake your throat chakra up. Really wake it up with some noise. And then I turn around and go back to the front and start beating on my chest, right on the, try and get it right into the center if I can. And I can't remember what's going on there, but that's about waking up your throat chakra as well, rattling things free, and really, yeah, like I say, just let the sound out. Let the sound. Just, you're in the bathroom, you're on your own. Who cares if anyone can hear you? Just let your sound out and really wake yourself up. Wake your throat up. Wake your sound up. Wake your noise up. Wake your voice up for the day. And then kind of I go in reverse. So I've spun around one way and then bring it back around the other way. And then when I close, it's just embrace it for a little bit longer once I've got back around the front. Wash under my arms. Make sure I've got the cold everywhere. Don't shy away from the cold. And that whole process usually lasts between 1 minute 30 to 2 minutes. 1 minute 30 to 2 minutes 30. Well, 2 minutes 10, say, around that kind of time. Turn the shower off. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Don't dry yourself. Brush your teeth while you're dripping dry. Does create a bit of mess in the bathroom. A bit of water, but it's good to drip dry. Don't run out of there thinking, oh, I need to wrap a quilt around me. Just embrace it. You've been in that cold. It's only going to get warmer. Just embrace that feeling for a little bit longer while you brush your teeth. And then, yeah, you come out, get dressed, do whatever you're going to do for the day. But those things just set me up so well. Whatever I've been thinking, doesn't matter what it was, no matter how anxious I've felt or whatever it is, those three things alone, regardless of anything else, is enough to get me from whatever, if I was feeling in a particularly negative state or a neutral state or even a positive state, it will elevate me. It will always elevate me to a better state, a more accepting state of the world, tolerant, happy, clearer in my voice, clearer with my love, all of these good things. So when I didn't do them yesterday, I just felt like I was up for a fight, not a physical fight, and just like everything had an undertone of annoying me. And because I want to speak my truth, I felt like I was ready to voice all of the things that were annoying me. But I knew in the back of my mind that I wasn't feeling particularly well, or not. The well's not the wrong word, but I knew that this day was going to be a bit rough because because of the way that I was feeling. So I had to really, really force myself to be conscious of when things came to the surface, and it's like, oh, I'm going to snap at that. I'm going to snap. It's like, just temper yourself. Just try and give it a couple of seconds before you open your mouth. Just a couple of seconds. And I did that successfully. There were a few moments in the day and the evening where I could have snapped quite easily and said things that weren't truthful, but were a reflection of how I was feeling. And that would have been unfair to whoever it was that I was talking to, and to myself as well, to my future self anyway. So that was just all quite interesting. And then in the end, I didn't eat well either. I brought some fruit and nut cereal. I don't eat cereal, even the fruit and nuts full of sugar. So I ended up having like 3 or 4 bowls of fruit and nut, and that was pretty much it throughout the day. And some fruit, just some separate bananas and other types of fruit, but just bowls of cereal, bowls of sugar, basically. So that wasn't cool either. That didn't make me feel any better about myself. So it was just time to draw a line under yesterday. I just drew a line under it and went to bed really early. I was in bed for about 7:30 and slept through to about 5 o'clock this morning, which was cool. And then I woke up and did my routine, did everything that I've just spoken about. There was it was really hard to shake off a lot of the thoughts from yesterday. There was an undertone of anxiety. There was, throughout the whole of this morning, like feeling on the edge, right on the edge. But I did all of the routines, pushed through with it, even though it didn't feel like it would help at some points. But now I've got to this point, and talking it through especially has helped. Really, really helped, actually. The more I think about it, talking it through has really helped. So all in all, I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. 10 times better than I did yesterday. Not 10 times better. A noticeable improvement in the way that I feel. And I'm going to enter into today. And I do feel optimistic now as well, where I didn't, a couple of hours ago, I did not feel optimistic about what I had planned for today, but now I do feel optimistic. So I'm really happy that I've got my routines. In summary, I am really happy that I've got my routines because they serve me well. Those 3 things alone, let alone the other things which I have in my options of my routines, they serve me really well. They help me, they guide me, they allow me to process things They keep the demons at bay that haunt us all and distract us away from achieving what we can achieve each day. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have these morning routines. It's a good thing to have this toolkit available to you to use when you need to use it. My advice is use it every day. Keep it well practiced. Make it a natural reflex. Make it non-optional. And just improve your life. No end. Every day is an adventure. Every day is an adventure. And using these tools can ensure that that you maximize on your experience in this little adventure that we have, or big adventure that we have. So, on with the day. Off to the gym. Big things planned for the rest of the day. Fun, exciting, special things planned for today. So, I hope you have a wonderful day too. Bye-bye.